What up, YouTube? First of all, this video is meant to be empowering, and I'm not judging anybody. I'm not coming down on anybody. We all have things that we deal with. So, that being said, today I want to talk about being a victim. Just in general. We all, everyone in the human population all over the world, believe it or not, have things that we have to overcome, okay? Some are greater than others. Some people are homeless. Some people are not homeless, but they're abused in their home. Everyone has things they have to overcome. That's my point. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about myself, and I made this video so people can choose to watch it or not watch it, whatever. Choice is yours. But growing up, my mother had a second husband. I'm from a broken home. I have an older brother and a younger sister, and I had a stepdad. And I was not his favorite person. He was not my favorite person. I was the middle child of 5 as far as like the marriage. When we all came together, there were 5 of us. I had 2 older brothers and 2 younger sisters, and I was the middle child. I had a smart mouth and I had an attitude, and I was very passionate about what I believed to be right. Now, in this situation, I am the child. However that may be, so that didn't necessarily mean that he was right all the time. I'm just putting that out there. So, as a kid, I watched a lot of things go down. I was subjected to a lot. There were times when we were never homeless, but I may not have particularly liked the home we lived in. Like, we had to live in motels sometimes. Not very long, like a month or 2 at a time. Not for a long period of time, but everybody goes through hard times, and that was ours. We had to live in a hotel room. I don't need pity. I don't need you to feel sorry for me. That's just part of the story. Let's move on. So, he just didn't make really good choices. Well, as a kid, 12, 13, 14 years old, coming into high school, I was a very observant person. I could look around me, and I would think, I want a different life. I want different things. I want a home that's mine, that I can live in forever and not have to move all the time. We moved a lot. I went to 4 different high schools 6 different times. So I would watch these people around me make these choices that affected my life, and inevitably I had no control over it. These people were making choices that affected my life, and I just had to take it as it came, as a snowball. I had to deal with it. There was nothing I could do about it. I was a kid. So, these decisions were being made, and I wanted a different life, so I would assess the situation, and I would soak it like a sponge. I would just take it all in. I wanted a different life, so what can I do differently to have a different life, to not end up like this? So, I did that. I've done that my whole life, and I've tried to make different choices. I grew up around drugs and alcohol, not like hardcore AC/DC, stick your tongue out, crazy stuff, but it was there. I could have easily been an alcoholic or a drug addict or a bum, lazy. I could have lived off the system. I mean, it's not too far-fetched. It could have happened. That's how it was there. So anyway, I wanted a different life, and I took responsibility for that at a young age, and I thought, I knew the choices that I made had consequences, and those were my consequences, and that if I did something wrong, I was going to go to jail. I was going to go to jail, not someone else. It was going to be me. So I knew that early on. I knew that at a young age. I knew I wanted to own a home. I wanted to be financially independent. I didn't want to be homeless. I didn't want to have to live in hotels. I did not want that life. If I were to ever have children, I did not want that life for my children. I didn't want my children to ever have to experience what I had to experience. Was it the worst childhood ever? Absolutely not. Did someone else have it worse than me? You can bet they did. Absolutely. I was never hungry. I was never cold. We never slept outside. Like I said, we just did what we had to do. We made the best of it. And then I didn't realize it was a bad, it was, oh, this is horrible. We live in a hotel. Now, as an adult, I'm like, that was probably not okay. But we weren't homeless. So it is what it is. But I made different choices. I went to work as soon as I could. I graduated high school. Like I said, I went to 4 different high schools, 6 different times, meaning that I transferred back and forth a lot. We moved a lot, so I went back and forth, back and forth. I graduated a year late, but I graduated. And I went to work. As I graduated on a Friday, I went to work that Monday, and I've worked ever since. I've worked and worked and worked. I've worked 2 jobs. I have helped my sister with her 3 kids. I have worked and worked and worked. Worked and worked and worked. Okay? That's all that I do is work. I mean, I just work. And I have somewhat of a social life, but I'm in a position where I know what I want and I'm going to have to do it and no one's going to do it for me. And I don't want pity. I don't want someone to feel sorry for me for the things that I went through 15 years ago. That's my point, people. That's my point. We all go through hard times. We all go through our crap, okay? You're not alone. But you cannot let one situation that you are dealt completely take over and consume your life. And that be the one thing that gets you down and you can't get back up. You have to overcome it. There's just no other way. You cannot just lay down in the dirt and feel sorry for yourself. If you have children, here's the kicker. They're watching every move you make, not just what you say. When you tell them what to do and they defy you, they are still watching you. They're watching your reaction to that situation. I mean, they're watching every move you make, how you do life. They are going to be a replica of you in some ways. That's not necessarily 100% true because I'm completely different than both of my parents. But you just have to be mindful of the people around you. You can't just let something happen to you and then it cripple you. And that ties in with mental health, and it is a real thing. And if that be the case, if it is a mental health issue, if it's PTSD or if it's depression, go to the doctor because there are doctors. Stop using it as a crutch to not get out of bed. I know it's real. I'm not trying to make it smaller than it is. I have family members that deal with it. I get it. I see it all the time. It is a real thing. Go get help. Go to a therapist. Don't let your pride be so big that you can't go talk to a stranger about your problems because they're not going to understand you. Because they're not going to understand you. But that's not their job. Their job is to assess the information and help you learn to deal with that information in a healthy way. With or without medication. You may or may not need medication. Either way, do not let it consume your life. Don't do it. It's not worth it. It's not. I'm going to give y'all a little situation, okay? So, about 3 years ago, my sister had a boyfriend, and they had 2 children together. And she had a child from a previous relationship. And this man took his own life. I can say that because it's known. It's known. He took his own life. 2 months after that, this was in December. 2 months after that, in February, my dad's older sister took her life. That's 2 suicides. 2 in 3 months. Right around the holidays, mind you. So, I'm the type of person where, and I'm not tooting my own horn, this is just who I am. I was taking care of everybody else. I was trying to help my sister with her kids, get everything lined up, make sure everybody was okay, had what they needed. I just bought my first house. I mean, literally just closed on my house. I lost one of my jobs at the time. Like, I went through some stuff too. And I could tell that I was not myself. I just wasn't myself. I was working and I was going home and I was going to bed. And that is not who I am. I'm pretty bubbly, in case you couldn't tell. I like to get out. I have a lot of friends. I like to go do stuff. I like to go shopping. I like to go eat Buffalo Wild Wings and go bowling and go to the movies. And I like to do stuff. I like to be on the go all the time. I go hang out with my friends. I just like to do stuff. But I wasn't doing that. I was ignoring people's phone calls. That's working and sleeping is all I was doing. And I woke up one day. Excuse me, my allergies are just the pits right now. I woke up one day and I said to myself, this is not who you are. You need to do something about it. So I went to my local health department, which you can do, just FYI. And I had to get a physical for work anyway, and I had to get some blood work done. So I had to fill out this little survey about my mental health and answer some questions. Was I suicidal? Did I think about killing myself? Just questions like that. And I answered them as truthfully as I could at the time. And I knew that if you answer certain questions the wrong way, they're going to send somebody in to get you. And, but anyway, that's not true. They're going to help you if they can. So they sent a lady in to help me or talk to me. And we talked for a minute. And I did that. And I did it one time. And she told me to get something that depended on me, that needed me every day. So I got 2 cats. I got over it. I came out of it. And they told me that I had a form of suppressed emotions because I was so busy taking care of everybody else and working and making sure everything went like it was supposed to go and making sure bills still got paid and everybody had what they needed. My emotions were suppressed, so I never grieved loss. I never grieved it. So anyway, got the cats, blah, 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 came out of I'm good. Like, we're good. I don't have cats anymore, and I am good. My point is, there's no shame in asking for help. There's no shame in taking medicine. There's no shame in it. There's a stigma on it, but mental health is a real thing. It's not okay to lay around and feel sorry for yourself and be a victim for things that you ultimately did not have control over. These were decisions that were made, choices that were made that indirectly or directly may have or may not affected your life. But it doesn't mean you have to let it consume your life. You are in control. Your choices and your decisions are yours and yours alone. You are responsible for the outcome of your life, okay? You just are. It's just that simple. And I'm the type of person, and this may make me a horrible person, and if that is, then it is what it is. But I will listen to your story, and I will listen to your problems, but I'm going to tell you how to fix it or what you need to do to fix it. What I'm not going to do is feel sorry for you. Like, you may have been dealt a bad card, but there are homeless people that graduate from Harvard. So I don't really have time to feel sorry for someone that has the ability to better their situation. I'm not for taking advantage of the system, but if you're a single mama with 5 kids and you don't know where their next meal is coming from, you better go get you some food stamps. You better go get you some government health care, TennCare, something, whatever state you live in. You better do something because you are capable and you can. And it's there. The help is there. You just got to get up off your lazy butt and go get it. Go. Just go. This just bothers me that people want to, the victim card, people play it so much all the time, it wears me out. Because I could have easily done the same thing, and I chose not to. I made different choices. And I can hear some of y'all now, because I've heard it before. Well, some of us were born into different choices, and some of us don't have those choices. It don't matter. It don't matter. When you're 18 years old, it's on you, boo. It's on you. You can't blame mom and daddy, auntie. You can't blame your cousins, granny. You can't blame your boss. It's on you. It's on you. So do something about it. Stop being a victim. Do not be defeated, because you don't have to. You don't have to lay down and just take it. You don't. Go get help. Stop being a victim. It's not worth it. You've already lost way too much. And time is ticking. And you're not going to get it back. So stop. Go get help.